Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Ephexis here. Just a quick video today, just with a sort of rundown of the best tips and tricks that I've found so far for Pokemon Go in terms of XP, how to find Pokemon, how to go ahead and sort of get those excellent catches, things like that. So all this information has kind of been gathered from personal experience and other things that I've found around the internet. So first of all, I mean, obviously the experience side of things is quite major. The higher level you are, the more powerful Pokemon you'll find, the sort of better Pokemon you'll find. You're more likely to sort of get an increased chance of finding the rarer Pokemon once you get to a higher level. When you start, obviously you get a lot of Drowsies and Rattatas, things like that, so you're not getting quite as much or quite as exciting Pokemon as you could be. So the best ways I've found to sort of get XP level up is, first of all, the Caterpie and Weedle only take 12 candy to evolve, and for each evolution you get 500 XP. So realistically what you want to be doing is catch as many of them as you can, then evolve one of them, and then just get rid of it. These Pokemon are specifically used sort of for XP. I always keep one of the evolution anyway, just so I've got it in the sort of Pokedex, but if you're going for just XP alone, your best bet is just to get a bunch of the Caterpies, Weedles or Pidgeys. They only take 12 each, like I said, so if you catch 4 of them, that's 12 right there. You can evolve one, and then once you've evolved them, you just get rid of them, and that's an easy 500 XP per evolution essentially. So you can do that. The other things for farming and things like that, ideally if you can sort of locate yourself in between 2 Pokestops. If you have lures, put lures on both of them. If you have an incense as well, do that. That'll sort of increase your farming, I suppose, just to try and get a sort of higher amount of Pokemon showing up. And obviously each one you catch, you get a small amount of XP. If it's a new Pokemon, you'll get your additional XP for finding the new Pokemon. Obviously if you have lucky eggs, you can use them as well, and that'll just get you that little bit more sort of double XP essentially. So those are probably the best ways to sort of farm XP, and on top of that, eggs as well. You get quite a lot of XP for hatching eggs. Unfortunately with the eggs, you can only sort of incubate as many as you have incubators, and they do require you to walk a certain distance. So there's the 2k, 5k and 10k. The 10k eggs have a sort of higher chance of the rare Pokemon, or at least what's considered rare, so like Aerodactyls, Porygons, things like that. 5k's is like your Vulpixies and your Ponytas, things like that, and then your 2 kilometers is pretty much the standard Pokemon you can find out and about while walking. One of the other things I've noticed as well is when I was looking at my map, I was getting a lot of the sort of rustling grass, which is exactly what you would in the old Pokemon games for the Game Boy. So with the rustling grass, I mean it doesn't always mean there's a Pokemon there, but it does have a sort of higher chance of there a Pokemon appearing the longer you sort of stand there. So if you go to within range of some rustling grass, there's a good chance a Pokemon will spawn there. When it comes to hunting down Pokemon, that's where there seems to be a bit of confusion. Obviously there's the tracker in the bottom right of the screen, and no one seems to have a sort of clear idea of how this works yet. Obviously the 3 footsteps means it's quite far away, 1 means it's right next to you. So the multiple sort of things that I've seen, and the best way to follow it, at least personally, is if you pick that specific Pokemon in the tracker, it'll spawn a circle around it, and then it's just like a giant game of sort of hot and cold. So you walk in a specific direction, and while the tracker's open, it goes in distance, so the closest Pokemon to you will be in the top left of the 9x9 square, and the furthest away one will be at the bottom right. So say yours is roughly in the middle. If you are going in the correct direction to find that Pokemon, it will sort of slowly move up the list, and then hopefully eventually, instead of having 3 footprints, it will drop down to 2 and then 1, and then it should be within that area that you're heading to. So say you've got a Mr. Mime or something and it's at the very bottom right. If you walk in one direction and it falls off the list, then it's best to turn around, head the other way, and just look out for it that way. Hopefully it will slowly drop down the list until the footprints start to decrease, and that way you know you're getting closer to it. One of the other ones I've heard is if you click on one of the Pokemon in the Pokemon tracker and then click the compass once it's selected, depending on which direction you look, apparently it pulses slightly differently if you're meant to be going in that direction. I haven't personally noticed anything like that when I've been trying it, but that doesn't mean it's not the case. It's just unfortunately I've not had a great deal of luck with it. So going by the sort of tracker and the 9x9 square is probably the best way that I've found to find a specific Pokemon if that's what you're looking for. And finally, I guess, is the catching of the Pokemon. Obviously you get your nice throws, your good throws, or your great throws, sorry, and your excellent throws. Yet again, there's lots of multiple different things going on here. So you get the white outer circle, and then obviously when you're holding the Pokeball, the circle shrinks. When the circle's at its very smallest, that's when you've got the highest chance to catch the Pokemon, but that's not necessarily related to the XP you'll get for the catch. What I found is that the circle that shrinks with the colour on it, if it's just within the circle and you hit within the coloured circle with your Pokeball, that'll get you a nice. If it's about 50% the size and you hit within the coloured circle, you'll get a great. And if it's less than 25% the size of the circle and you manage to hit it with the Pokeball, that'll give you your excellent, so that's an extra 100 XP. So the white outer circle is fairly irrelevant, apart from that's the overall size of the Pokemon you're catching pretty much. It's the coloured circle inside that you need to be watching. So while it's at its smallest, that's your highest chance to catch the Pokemon. But depending on where you hit within the circle and what size it is, depends on how much XP and what your throw will be classed as. So those are the sort of tips that I've had and found to be helpful so far. Obviously, if you guys have any of your own that I've missed or anything you want to ask, by all means just leave it in the comments below. I will try and get some more sort of interesting sort of Pokemon Go information as I go, I guess. But I just wanted to throw this video together so that you guys had the sort of best idea of what you need to be doing, how to do it, and sort of how to maximise on what's available for you at the moment. So if you've enjoyed this video, leave a like rating, let me know in the comments sort of how you're finding Pokemon Go, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.